The Dichotomy of Self-Control. What if you could master one simple principle to transform your life? The Stoics believed that the key to freedom is understanding what you can control and what you cannot. Stay with me and I'll show you how the dichotomy of control can change your perspective on everything. Stoicism, founded in ancient Greece, teaches us a fundamental truth. The idea that we are only responsible for some things, while other things lie completely outside our control. This idea, known as the dichotomy of control, is at the core of Stoic philosophy and is as relevant today as it was centuries ago. In this video, we'll break down this concept and explore how it can help us navigate the complexities of modern life with greater peace and clarity. We live in an era defined by constant noise, both external and internal. The world throws endless distractions our way: social media, news, the pressure to succeed, the expectations of others, and the stress of daily responsibilities. In a single day, we can feel like we're being pulled in 1,000 different directions, juggling work, family, personal aspirations, and the ever-looming uncertainty of the future. This incessant pressure often leaves us anxious, overwhelmed, and feeling like we're losing control. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves stressing over things that we have no power over? The traffic that makes us late, the unpredictable weather ruining our plans, or the opinions of others dictating how we feel about ourselves. It's no wonder we experience frustration, anxiety, or helplessness. We strive to control every outcome, but more often than not, we're left disappointed when life doesn't go the way we hoped. Lesson 1. The Perfectionist Trap. Let's consider the modern perfectionist, a person who sets impossibly high standards for themselves, often beyond their control. They might believe they must deliver flawless work, maintain impeccable relationships, or always make the right decisions. But what happens when, despite their best efforts, something goes wrong? Maybe a project at work doesn't meet expectations, or a relationship hits a rough patch. Suddenly, all the control they thought they had vanishes, and they're left feeling like they've failed. The perfectionist often focuses on the outcome, something that is ultimately out of their hands, rather than the process, which is the only thing they can control. This leads to a never-ending cycle of disappointment and self-criticism. Instead of finding peace in their efforts, they find frustration in the uncontrollable. Lesson 2. The need for approval. Another common example is the need for external validation. In today's world of social media, many of us find ourselves measuring our worth by the number of likes, shares, or positive comments we receive. We crave approval, whether from friends, family, or complete strangers online. But this craving for external validation puts us at the mercy of forces beyond our control. When that approval doesn't come, or worse, when we face criticism, we feel deflated, anxious, or unworthy. The Stoics would argue that this pursuit of external validation is a distraction from what truly matters, your own self-perception and internal values. Epictetus said, "If you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. Instead of letting others dictate our self-worth, we should focus on living in accordance with our principles and values." Lesson 3. The illusion of control in relationships. Relationships, too, can be a source of immense frustration when we try to control the other person's behavior, thoughts, or feelings. How often have we found ourselves wishing our partner or friend would behave in a certain way, respond in a certain manner, or agree with our point of view? This desire to control others, though natural, is inherently flawed and leads to conflict. We cannot control another person's thoughts or actions any more than we can control the weather. Stoicism teaches us that our happiness should never be dependent on someone else's actions. Instead of trying to mold others to fit our expectations, we should focus on controlling how we respond to them. Epictetus said, "Don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. This is the path to peace." By accepting that people are autonomous and will act according to their own nature, we relieve ourselves of the frustration that comes from unmet expectations. The overarching problem: misaligned focus. The root of the problem lies in where we place our focus. We tend to fixate on things that are beyond our control, external events, other people's actions or outcomes we can't guarantee. This misaligned focus is what creates stress, anxiety, and a sense of helplessness. We want to control every detail of our lives, but life is unpredictable. By chasing control over things that lie outside our influence, we set ourselves up for failure and disappointment. The Stoics would tell us, this is a trap. Consider how often we get upset about things like the outcome of an election, the behavior of a stranger, or the fact that our favorite restaurant is closed. These are external events, things over which we have no control. Yet, we let them dictate our emotional state. This is the core challenge the Stoics present to us: to shift our focus from what we cannot control to what we can control. Turning point: realizing the dichotomy. But here's where the dichotomy of self-control becomes a guiding light. The Stoics teach us that everything we encounter in life falls into one of two categories: things within our control and things outside of our control. The moment we can distinguish between the two, we can redirect our energy to what truly matters: our own thoughts, actions, and responses. This realization is not only empowering, but liberating. Epictetus, in his Enchiridion, gives us this powerful teaching: some things are up to us, and some things are not. By internalizing this, we shift our focus away from external factors and toward mastering ourselves. Our emotional state, our peace of mind, our sense of self. These are things that we can control, and they are the foundation for a fulfilling life. Challenge: applying the dichotomy in modern life. The challenge, of course, is applying this wisdom to our everyday lives. It's easy to understand the dichotomy of control in theory, but how do we practice it when real-life pressures hit us? Imagine being stuck in a situation where your plans fall apart. Do you react with frustration, or do you calmly accept it as something beyond your control? This is where the Stoics push us to reflect. In every moment of tension or stress, pause and ask, is this within my control? If the answer is no, then release it. Learning to implement the dichotomy of control is a gradual process, but it begins with awareness. Each time we choose to focus on what we can control, our reactions, our mindset, our internal values, we chip away at the chains of external influence. Over time, this builds resilience, calm, and the ability to navigate life's unpredictability without losing ourselves. Now that we've identified the common challenge, the struggle to control what we cannot, it's time to dive deeper into how Stoicism offers us a path to inner peace through mastering the dichotomy of control. We'll explore Stoic teachings from the great philosophers and discover practical steps we can take to apply these lessons in our modern lives. Part 1. Epictetus and the Fundamental Dichotomy. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, gave us a simple but powerful teaching that forms the foundation of Stoic thought. Some things are in our control, and others are not. He taught that, fundamentally, there are only two things we should concern ourselves with: what is within our control and what is beyond it. Let's break this down further. What's in our control? According to Epictetus, what we can control includes our thoughts, beliefs, judgments, desires, and actions. These are all internal. We decide how we respond to a situation, how we interpret events, and how we react to the behavior of others. This is where our power lies, within our own minds. What's beyond our control? On the other hand, things beyond our control include external events, the actions of others, outcomes, and physical circumstances. We can influence these things to some degree, but we do not have ultimate control over them. The key is to recognize that trying to control them only leads to frustration and anxiety. Instead, the Stoics urge us to focus on our own responses. Part 2. amor fati, loving your fate. Another concept central to Stoic thought is amor fati, which means love of fate. This idea, deeply embedded in the dichotomy of control, teaches us not just to accept what happens to us, but to embrace it wholeheartedly, as if it were meant to happen. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, put it simply, welcome whatever comes to you, woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs. Why embrace your fate? Amor fati teaches us to see every event, every challenge, and every obstacle as an opportunity for growth. This isn't just about accepting bad things with gritted teeth. It's about seeing everything, good and bad, as part of the bigger picture. It's about learning to love the process, including the difficulties, because they shape us into better, more resilient people. Practical application: amor fati in daily life. How can we practice amor fati in our daily lives? Let's look at a few examples. Imagine being stuck in traffic which is beyond your control. Instead of getting angry, you could choose to use this time to listen to a Stoic audiobook, reflect, or simply enjoy the stillness. Another example: when facing an unexpected setback at work or in a relationship, rather than viewing it as an outright failure, try to see it as a learning opportunity, something that is refining you for the future. Every challenge is an opportunity to practice patience, resilience, and wisdom. Part 3. Marcus Aurelius and Inner Fortress. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, gives us a profound metaphor. Life is like a fortress. While we can't control the storms that batter the walls, we can ensure the strength of the fortress itself, our inner world. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This inner strength is what the Stoics call ataraxia, an unshakable peace of mind, the mind as a fortress. The Stoics urge us to build an inner fortress, a place where our peace of mind resides, untouched by external events. It's about training the mind to remain calm in the face of adversity, to view challenges as exercises for strengthening our resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote that no matter what happens outside, you can always retreat into yourself. This inner calm is something no one can take from you, and it's something you cultivate through daily practice. Practical example: building your inner fortress. To build this inner fortress, begin by practicing mindfulness and self-awareness. When something negative happens, a criticism, an inconvenience, a disappointment, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, then remind yourself that your peace of mind need not depend on this external event. Over time, this practice will help you become more resilient to life's ups and downs. Part 4. Seneca and Premeditation of Adversity, Premeditatio Malorum. Seneca, another prominent Stoic, gave us a powerful tool known as Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of adversity. He believed that by mentally preparing for potential difficulties in advance, we can face them with greater calm and composure when they arise. Instead of being caught off guard, we are mentally ready for whatever comes our way. What is premeditation of adversity? In essence, this practice involves imagining worst-case scenarios and preparing yourself to meet them with grace. For example, before an important meeting or event, take a moment to imagine what could go wrong, not to make yourself anxious, but to rehearse how you would respond if things don't go as planned. Practical application: preparing for adversity. This isn't about pessimism, but about building mental resilience. If you've already imagined the worst and prepared yourself, then when the unexpected happens, you are less likely to be emotionally reactive. You've built the mental muscle to handle the situation calmly. This way, no matter what life throws at you, you are ready. Part 5. Exercises in applying the dichotomy of control. Now that we've explored the philosophical foundation of Stoic self-control, how do we begin to practice it? Here are some exercises that you can incorporate into your daily life. Daily journaling. Journaling is a powerful tool that both Marcus Aurelius and Seneca used to reflect on their actions and thoughts each day. Take 10 minutes at the end of your day to reflect. What did I control today? What was out of my control? How did I react to things beyond my control, and how could I have done better? Mindfulness practice. Practicing mindfulness, being present in the moment, helps us become more aware of our reactions. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly, focusing on your breath. When thoughts arise, notice if they are about things outside your control and gently let them go. Decision-making with Stoic wisdom. Before making decisions, pause and ask, is this something I can control, or am I letting fear of the unknown influence me? This practice helps clarify your focus, reminding you to act on what is within your power and let go of the rest. Through these exercises and reflections, the Stoic dichotomy of self-control becomes not just a philosophical concept, but a practical guide for everyday life. By consistently applying these principles, you can reduce anxiety, improve your decision-making, and find peace amidst life's chaos. We've explored how Stoic teachings like Epictetus's Dichotomy of Control, Marcus Aurelius's Inner Fortress, Seneca's Premeditation of Adversity, and Amor Fati can reshape the way we experience life. But now, let's bring it all together. The key moment of transformation lies in one powerful realization, one that can change the way we live from this moment forward. The only true control we have is over ourselves, and embracing this fully is the gateway to true freedom. The freedom in letting go. This is the turning point. When you fully embrace the fact that you cannot control external events, you gain something far more valuable: control over your own mind and how you choose to respond to life's challenges. The freedom to choose how you think, how you act, and how you interpret the world around you. This freedom is the ultimate power, and it is the heart of the Stoic philosophy. Think of the moments in life that have caused you the most stress. Was it the actual event itself, or was it the way you reacted to it? Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This simple truth holds the key to a life of serenity and strength. The moment of choice. In life, we constantly stand at a crossroads between reaction and response, between emotional turbulence and inner calm. Imagine a moment in your life when something unexpected happened, perhaps a job loss, a relationship ended, or an unexpected illness. In that moment, you had two choices: to resist and fight the reality of the situation, or to accept it and ask yourself, what can I do within my control to move forward? This is the key moment where Stoicism becomes more than just a philosophy. It becomes a way of living. You can choose to wrestle with the uncontrollable, letting it dominate your emotions and your sense of well-being. Or you can choose to focus on your own responses, your own growth, and your own inner peace. This is where true strength lies, not in controlling the external world, but in mastering the internal. The power of perception. The Stoics teach us that our perception of events is what defines our experience. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." How you choose to interpret the world shapes your reality. Every moment is an opportunity to practice this. By shifting your perception, you change your experience. Think about this. When something happens that you didn't expect, someone criticizes you or an opportunity falls through, what is your first reaction? Do you feel frustration, anger, disappointment? Or do you take a breath, pause, and remind yourself, this is outside of my control, but how I choose to respond is within my control? This shift in perspective is the climax of the Stoic practice. It's the moment you reclaim your power over your inner world. Overcoming adversity through acceptance. At the heart of Stoicism is not the avoidance of adversity, but the courageous embrace of it. The Stoics were clear: life will be difficult, challenges will arise, and we will face loss, pain, and setbacks. But instead of seeing these moments as obstacles, we can choose to see them as opportunities to practice virtue, to build resilience, and to strengthen our character. Seneca reminds us, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. When we shift our mindset from resistance to acceptance, we transform adversity into a tool for growth. We no longer fear what is out of our control, because we know that no matter what happens, we have the strength to control our response. This is the power of Stoicism, the ability to face life's storms with an unshakable calm and confidence. The Stoic hero's journey. The Stoic hero is not a person without challenges. They are the person who faces those challenges with grace and fortitude. Whether it's Marcus Aurelius governing an empire under pressure, or Epictetus rising from slavery to become one of the greatest philosophers, their strength came not from controlling the world around them, but from mastering themselves. And you too are on this journey. Every day presents opportunities to practice Stoic wisdom, to face life's inevitable difficulties with calm, clarity, and courage. Each small victory in self-control builds your inner strength, and over time, you transform into someone who cannot be shaken by the winds of fate. Moment of realization, the inner revolution. This is the climactic realization, the shift from trying to control the external world to mastering the internal. The storm may rage around you, but inside, there is peace. This inner revolution is the true power of Stoicism, and once you experience it, you'll see life in a completely different light. No longer will you be pulled by the strings of fate or the actions of others. You will stand firm, grounded in your own strength, unshaken by the world. This is the Stoic superpower, the ability to remain calm, purposeful, and in control of oneself, regardless of the chaos outside. You become the eye of the storm, the steady force in an unpredictable world. The final realization, the serenity of self-control. And so we arrive at the ultimate lesson. Serenity is found not in controlling the world, but in controlling yourself. By embracing the Stoic dichotomy of control, you gain the ability to navigate life's challenges with clarity and confidence. No longer do you feel the need to wrestle with forces beyond your influence. Instead, you turn inward, strengthening your thoughts, your actions, and your character. In the words of Epictetus, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. This freedom, this inner serenity, is the key moment in your Stoic journey. It is the moment when you reclaim your power, your peace, and your life. The Stoic journey doesn't end here. In fact, it's only just begun. Today, you've taken the first steps toward mastering the art of self-control, toward building a life of resilience, clarity, and inner peace. But like any skill, this requires consistent practice. It's time to put what you've learned into action. Daily Stoic exercises. Start small. Begin by incorporating Stoic exercises into your daily routine. Take 5 minutes at the start or end of your day to journal about the things within your control and those beyond it. Practice mindfulness when challenges arise, and remember to focus on what you can change: your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. You don't have to walk this path alone. There's a vibrant community of people around the world practicing Stoicism every day, seeking wisdom, inner peace, and self-mastery. Engage with this community, share your experiences, and learn from others on the same journey. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to continue growing and learning alongside others committed to the Stoic path. Also, share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How have you applied the Stoic dichotomy of control in your life? Challenge yourself. A week of Stoic practice. Here's a challenge for you. For the next 7 days, focus on practicing the Stoic dichotomy of control in your life. Each day, reflect on one situation where you actively distinguished between what was in your control and what wasn't. How did it change your perspective? What did you learn? Share your experiences in the comments or on social media using the hashtag Stoic Challenge, and let's support each other in this journey of personal growth. Resources to deepen your practice. If you're ready to dive deeper, There are incredible resources that can help you grow in your understanding of Stoicism. Check out the recommended reading list in the video description below, including classics like Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, Epictetus's Discourses, and Seneca's Letters from a Stoic. These texts are invaluable companions on the path to inner peace. Also, keep an eye out for upcoming videos where we'll continue exploring more Stoic principles and practices, covering topics like gratitude, resilience, and living in alignment with nature. Join us on this journey. The path to self-control and inner peace is a lifelong journey, and I'd be honored to walk alongside you as we continue learning together. So join me for more discussions on Stoicism, share your questions, and let's help each other grow. Remember, you may not control what happens to you, but you always control how you respond. And that's where your true power lies. Together, let's unlock that potential, one day at a time.